Hey, it's Louis D again, and this video is gonna be a book review of Sadie by Courtney Summers. Hoorah! So it's been a while since I filmed. I've been ill during the past weeks, so I don't know if you would know this, but I really missed filming, and I'm glad that I get to film again. I mentioned a lot of filming this video so many times in the first portion. But anyway, let's talk about Sadie. So this is going to be a book review about Sadie written by Courtney Summers. Now this is FILBORGS Book of the Month for July 2019. We decided to pick like a rainy day read, something kind of like a thriller or something that's kind of like dark that we believe that would be perfect for a rainy day. Feel free to comment down below what your thoughts are. So, let's begin talking about Sadie. So, Sadie happens to be a story that was discussed in two different point of views. One is in Sadie's point of view, wherein she is searching for the one who killed her sister Maddie, and she goes out of her town and decides to look for what I believe is her father, who is responsible for killing her sister. And the other perspective happens to be a podcast where they talked about, Sadie being missing. Now, it's interesting how, this kind of ended in a cliffhanger situation. And I really wish Sadie all the best. Okay? Now, so what are my thoughts about this book? I'd say I like it. Like, to me, it didn't bore me or not really every, I guess it's too much of a hyperbole, but reading the story, didn't bore me. Like, I was hooked to it. Like, it wasn't anything like some sort of when I feel when some books disconnect. I didn't feel that. However, as a thriller book, to me it lacked that suspense or thrill or me wanting to know what is going to happen next. To me, I did not feel it with this book. When I was reading it, I was kind of riding with the story, going with the flow. Okay, Sadie's gonna be meeting these group of social media influencers. She gets to meet some friends of her father, and she gets to meet this person. It wasn't something wherein I wanted to know what happens next. And the podcast, to me, I might have appreciated it if it is an audio, but I believe that as a book, whatever format that is, and I think that it would even be more helpful if I read it as opposed to having an audiobook wherein it feeds me what I'm supposed to hear. To me, it's just something that okay, alright, I see these things. Ooh, okay, that's tragic. But it's not something oh my gosh, I want to know more about it. And I think also because of the way that it was organized, some of the scenes or most of the scenes were we already knew from Sadie's perspective. So it's when you read the podcast part, it's not as, it might not be as thrilling as it is. That's how I felt about it. And like I said, it may have changed if I listened to the audiobook, but first two things, or actually three reasons why I already had an ebook copy of it. And I don't like having multiple copies of soft copies of books either. So number two is that because of my illness, I couldn't really listen to. I can still hear, but my right ear hasn't really been well, so I don't think I can make the most out of listening to the audiobook. And number three, like I said, even if it's an audiobook or a physical copy, they should excite you. A story is great when it excites you in whatever format it is told. So, to me, it was it wasn't boring, but it wasn't something that I would expect as a thriller novel. It's more like just like a sad, tragic story. I tried having a little bit of a documentary feel to it, like, you know, watching a thriller documentary that's really scary, but it just didn't cut through me. How, well, like I said, it's pretty good. I mean, not boring. It was written, I think, well, in a sense that there weren't any disconnects. However, it's not something that I would recommend as like a thriller book. And what else should I say? And I can handle the trigger warnings about, you know, the pedophilic actions. What else? Rape. I can handle those. Reading. And yeah, and I was just like okay with it. And to me, I don't see this as like something that makes the book greater or nor less. I think, although it is quite wonderful to see other characters, but it's not like a bonus point for me. You know, talking about diverse characters, like, well, it's nice to see, but I feel like, you know, there's just going to be more stories out there that will have diverse characters. But speaking of diverse characters, I think Sadie is neurodiverse with her stuttering. So if you guys are looking for a book like that, then maybe it is for you. And with these things that I'm mentioning in this book review, you know, these are things that, you know, that are quite okay with you and that are probably like the perfect fit for your, you know, reading taste, or, you know, this is like the book that, these are things that you look into a book. Looking into a thriller or a suspense book, then go for it. It just wasn't a thriller book for me. It can be a book for me, but I don't think it's a thriller book. I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Because there were a bit sparks towards the end, but it wasn't enough to kind of like, whoa, blow me away. So, feel free to comment down below your thoughts about the book. I know Sadie's really popular, and I don't know if mine's kind of leans to the unpopular side, but anyway, this is just how I really felt about it. So, guess that's about it. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And I'll be linking down my social media handles and links, so feel free to check me out there and follow me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Let us continue seeking for wisdom and unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all.